From Mamma Mia, welcome to The Spill, your daily pop culture fix. I'm Laura Brodnick.
And I'm Manisha Warren, producer of The Spill and still filling in for Emily for the last week.
So welcome to Weekend Watch, where we talk about the best new TV shows and movies that have come out this week. We have a movie review coming up. I actually can't even talk about it. My heart's beating so fast. The build-up has been both many weeks and 30 years. So we're getting into that. We're joined by a special guest who's never been on the pod before. Exciting.
What a tease.
I know. I'm so excited. I literally bounced out of bed this morning being like, it's time to record this review. I'm so excited.
I will say it has very much taken over our team for, I want to say weeks.
Oh, yeah. Again, the build-up for this cannot be underestimated. But before we get into this big movie review, we do have some new TV shows that have come out this week to chat about.
We do. And one of the big things we need to talk about is highly anticipated because we've been waiting for this next drop is that Bridgerton Part 2 is now out on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch the next 4 episodes. I, for one, am very glad because they really left us on a cliffhanger there with the last part.
I love this double drop. I know some people have had conflicted feelings about it, but I love getting the first kind of like taste of Bridgerton and getting to know, because even though you do know the characters, it's a new lead every time. So you're getting into their story and meeting their love interest, and it leaves us on a cliffhanger. And then I have time to process it in my mind and get excited again. And then we get the second wave. It would be too much if it was all gone in one weekend.
And I enjoy, we get to yearn a little, you know, that's the whole theme of Bridgerton.
Yearning is good. Waiting is in this world. We're used to getting everything straight away. It's good to have to wait for something.
Exactly. And obviously we left off with the very dramatic fingering and the will you be my mistress. And I remember you and Emily spoke about this on the pod and Emily was outraged by the will you be my mistress. And you were a little more defensive of him taking into context the time of it all.
I love to defend a rich white man.
You do. It's really your theme of the year.
So even fictional men, Benedict Bridgerton, I was like, look, he had reasons. He was in a predicament and Sophie was asking too much. And
he's got to do those ledgers for the house. It's very difficult.
And he was just trying to say that in his world, will you be my mistress was one of the more romantic things you could say.
Well, I tend to agree with you on that. I think it was just that there was so much build up throughout the season that in your heart you just want him to be like, Sophie, I love you. But like he obviously can't say that in the context.
Guys. We're getting to that. We have more episodes to go.
We're going to get there. So, well, actually, when the first part came out, I went to a pub viewing session with some friends.
Oh,
so
that's great.
Yeah, it was kind of great, but then it's also you're like, shush, everyone, I need to lock in.
Well, when you do something like that, like sometimes when I go to premiere and you watch and everyone's like, and you've had a few drinks and everyone's yelling and laughing, like that's a good atmosphere. But then you do have to go watch it at home in the privacy of your own like living room and to process it properly.
Well, I'm going to have a very different experience this time because I'm downloading it all and I'm going to watch it on the plane. So I'm going to be locked in.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Because it's a little screen.
Yeah. Well, I feel good for you because that'll make the flight go so much faster.
Yes.
To have a TV show like that you can lock into. Like you won't even notice the fact that being on a plane is the worst thing in the whole world.
A bit sexual though, maybe.
The plane. You'll be that person who's like covering the screen because like an older white man will be sitting next to you and you'll be like, don't look at my sexy show.
It's just Magic Mike.
But then also, I don't think it was designed to watch on a tiny screen, but you can watch it again. It's fine.
I can always rewatch it. So they've actually confirmed that the total runtime of the 4 episodes is 4 hours and 26 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, they're all really long. They're all over an hour. The 4 episode names are Yes or No, The Passing Winter, The Beyond, and Dance in the Country.
Ooh.
And I thought one might be called The Bathtub because that's what we're all waiting for, but I don't know where that's going to land.
The sexy scene from the book where she gets into the bathtub. I'm excited for that. And yet I think I'm more excited now for this second bit because now we've had the meet cute. They're so in love. We know how it's going to end because every Bridgerton season ends the same, but it's like, how are they going to get there? And there's also much more drama, like Francesca's storyline we know is about to blow up. Some more stuff is going to happen with Eloise. Like there's a lot, even though we have the books and we have the teaser, there's a lot unknown about these next 4 episodes of like where all these people are going to land before we then wait 2 more years for another Bridgerton to come.
Well, we're reaching the pinnacle of the season. If you hate that.
No, I appreciated it.
Well, the showrunner, Jess Brownell, also said if you usually skip the credits, definitely don't this time. But apparently it's not going to be a big reveal like last time where you actually find out who the next season's about. It's going to be something more subtle. But apparently stay tuned for the credits. Don't miss out on that. I'm sure, everyone will be dissecting online what it all means.
Yeah. Oh, so excited. So yes, all the episodes are out now. We are going to do a brutally honest review of Bridgerton next week. So make sure you've all watched it before Friday because Em will be back and I just think there will be so much to say.
And we'll link the first brutally honest review of part 1 in the show notes, and also our sister pod Watch Party's doing heaps of Bridgerton content. So a plethora of Bridgerton stuff for you fans out there.
Okay, before we get into our movie review, I have to mention another show that is back this week because this has also had a huge build up, and it is the fact that the reboot of Scrubs is now airing on Disney Plus in Australia.
That is very exciting. I also always think of the TLC song when I hear about this show.
Of course. Wait, were you a Scrubs girl when the show came out?
I wasn't. I was always a Grey's Anatomy private practice girl, but I do remember because I believe this show ran from, was it 2001 to 2010, around there? And I remember when I was sick home from school, sometimes there'd be episodes on, so I'd dip in and out.
Yeah, it's a very iconic comedy, and it was very much, it's interesting because obviously Grey's Anatomy and all those medical shows and the drama and the romance of it was so big. So when Scrubs came out in 2001 and it was a comedy set in a hospital, but also had that really heartfelt moment, and the same thing of like doctors like navigating like their medical careers, but also like having, you know, emotional attachments to patients and all that sort of stuff. It was that, but through like a comedy lens, and sometimes even a very absurdist comedy lens because of like the daydreams that the lead character would say. So one of the greatest things about Scrubs, the reboot, and the only way you could really bring it back is that the 3 original cast members are all back in their roles. So we've got Donald Faison's back, Zach Braff is back, and Sarah Chalke is back. So they're the iconic 3, but also a few of the side characters like John C. McGinley is back as Dr. Cox, Judy Reese is back as Carla. So they've really got the band back together. And even the show's creator, Bill Lawrence, who is a busy man because recently he's been working on Shrinking and Ted Lasso, his other shows, which are both wildly popular. He's back as executive producer. So it really is getting the band back together.
It must be so much nostalgia for the fandom whenever there's a reboot of a show like that that's so long in the making. There's a lot of stakes though, because you're like, is it going to live up to the hype?
Yeah, exactly. And I think from what fans have seen, like it definitely does live up to the hype. In a way, like it's such a different time now. Like Scrubs really was of the moment in terms of like a comedy. But I think because, you know, you've got all the same doctors back in the hospital and it's just them like 10 years on. What do their lives look like now? But obviously there's new characters and new cases coming in. My favorite part of the build up to Scrubs is not so much seeing it back on our screens, because in a way I was like, I feel like Scrubs had the best run. 2001 to 2010. I know people sometimes didn't like the later series as much, but like those first, especially 5 or 6 seasons was like peak comedy TV. So beloved. And so when it was announced it was coming back, I was a bit like how I always feel about a reboot. Like, do we need this? But it is lovely. And one of the best things about it is just seeing the 3 core cast do all their press together. So seeing Donald Faison, Zach Braff, and Sarah Chalke they've been doing a lot of interviews, the 3 of them, and their chemistry is insane. They're all such close friends and they've stayed really, really close since 2010. Especially, I mean, all of them, but especially Zach and Donald are best friends.
Isn't it just the best thing when the characters that you love on screen actually have that relationship off screen? That always makes you think of like the Bold type, how those 3 girls are such good friends. It just brings you so much joy.
And it really kind of, I think, it makes the show coming back more special, because it would be so fair if they had worked on a show because this happens a lot. People work on a show and then it's like any other job, you finish and you're friendly with your colleagues, but you're not in each other's lives as much and you don't check in with each other and chat and all that sort of stuff. And so it could have been very feasible that they hadn't seen each other and they came back to make this show, which would still be lovely. But it's almost like the fact that we get to come back into their off-screen friendship that I've been more excited about. And part of me is like, I'll watch the Scrubs reboot and I'm sure it's lovely. But I was almost like, is there a world we could have just had the press tour without because that's, for me, has been the best part of seeing them back together.
Yeah, and I guess we are so in our reboot era right now, but I think part of that is because it's so hard to make those characters and those connections on screen that people really care about. So everyone in Hollywood and everyone making all the decisions is like, well, we just sort of have to play on the ones we already have and hope that you're still invested.
Well, that's the thing. There's so much reboot fatigue at the moment, and I think some of that touched Scrubs, but not as much as some other shows, because the thing about Scrubs is like to bring the show back, they haven't had to go back and undo the original show. It's like with a lot of shows that are rebooted, especially a lot of the shows that I really love, and I've been excited to have them back, but they've had to really dismantle what they set up. Like to bring Sex and the City back and Just Like That, they had to kill big and like write out Samantha Jones. Veronica Mars, they had to kill off like a lead character and all these things. Like they have to, and a lot of shows that come back now, it's like we left our characters in a good spot, but in order to bring them back, a catalyst has to have happened. And normally that catalyst is these people haven't spoken in years.
Yeah.
They're in a bad spot. It's the same with bringing Gilmore Girls back. It's like Rory's lost and her career hasn't worked out. Luke and Lorelai just never got married and never had a baby. Like their dreams are broken. Richard's dead. And it's like, oh, I'm happy to be back in this world, but did I need this level of trauma?
I'm not in an emotional phase where I could talk about the Gilmore Girls reboot right now.
I know. I was just like, okay, like I'm glad everyone's back, but I'm so sad now.
You've ruined everything.
Whereas Scrubs has come back and it's just like, obviously some stuff has happened with the characters, but basically it's just coming back into, you just get to slip back into the world that they're in and the hospital and the characters and everything. So they didn't have to break the world down to bring it back.
So what have you heard, I guess, fan reception wise so far?
So it's been, some of the reviews have been a little mixed. I saw one say like, is there a place in the modern world for Scrubs? Maybe not. But I also think sometimes like something like this, it's not for critical acclaim. I don't think that's why they've made it. And I don't even know if it's for newer fans, although I'm sure I wouldn't jump into the Scrubs reboot if you haven't seen. I would go back and watch the original Scrubs first. But I think this is just for the fans. It's just to give them a moment in time to come back into this world that's very like fun and soft and lovely, and just to give them a moment to revisit that world. I don't think it's like breaking new ground in TV. I don't think it's going to like relaunch the show on a massive level. I think it's just like the creator and the cast of the show really love each other. They love these characters. The fandom is still going so strong. Since 2010, that fandom has not wavered. And I think it's just a little gift to the fans. And it should just be, you know, if someone gives you a gift, you receive it and you're like, thank you. And I think that's all we should do with Scrubs.
Do a little yes and.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Yes, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, exactly. And just be open to it. So the first episode's right now on Disney Plus, and there's a weekly drop. And
oh, you love a weekly drop.
Oh, yeah. I love a weekly drop. That's how you really process things. That's how TV is meant to be viewed.
So you can do some yearning for Scrubs, your weekly.
You yearn for Bridgerton and Scrubs. Very different shows. Okay, now to our much hyped movie review. So this week, Scream 7 came out, and there has been a lot of build up for this movie, not just in the fandom, but also here on this podcast, because many times, Manisha, as you know, I have had to say my 5 favorite movies of all time. And I don't take that lightly.
No, you take it very seriously.
Both my job and my life's passion. And I have seen every movie in existence. And that's not even a joke. And one of my favorite movies of all time is Scream, that came out in 1996.
Huge week for you.
Huge week for me. And it has been a huge week for our team here in the Spill as well, because
honestly been quite emotionally draining.
Yes, you've been terrified. So, and I think this goes to show the fandom that this movie has. If you can hear a bit of laughter in the background, that's a special guest who's joining us today. He's making his debut on the Spill. Michael, our video producer, who makes all of our YouTubes and all of those things that you see. And when I first heard, Michael, that you were going to be joining our team, the one thing I was told was he's a huge fan of Scream. And I said, hi him. I don't need to know anything else. So, Michael, welcome to the Spill.
Hello. Oh my God, I can't. Can I take this mask off?
For context, Michael's sitting here wearing a Scream mask that entire time.
I've been sitting here for about a minute.
Guys, if you've never watched the YouTube, this is the time to dive in, because Michael's wearing a Scream mask that he has been wearing all week.
And he's going to have to edit that.
And that's why his voice is mumbled.
The longest minute of my life waiting for you to do that introduction. I'm going to take it off now.
You can take it off. Oh, there he is.
Reveal.
There he is. But we had to have the mask in here because that mask has been like the extra member of our Spill team this week.
It has. I've been like terrorizing the entire office.
You've had a side gig.
I have a side gig.
A lot of jump scares have taken place in the Mamma Mia office.
Yeah, I've been going around scaring unwitting victims.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Fucking hell. Oh my God.
Oh my.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, but it's just been a really fun week for me.
Terrorizing people.
You got some quite senior leadership.
Yeah, I got the head of content.
Wow.
Yeah, Zara Curtis. That was well received, actually. She took it well.
Yeah, I think you're on a bit of a watch list in the office at the moment.
Yeah, I've definitely, like, my ranking in popularity has definitely gone
with
down.
scaring people. But again,
Yeah.
this is why this franchise has been enduring for more than 30 years.
Yeah.
Is like, were you even born when the first Scream came out?
Yeah, I was like 4.
Okay,
I saw
so
it when I was...
you didn't see it in cinema.
No. I saw it on VHS when I was like 5 or 6.
That's too young. I'm sorry.
That
That's
is
too young.
crazy young. No, I used to defend my parents, but now I'm like, no, they probably shouldn't have let me.
No, show your kids Scream. It'll really make, look how well you've turned out.
Yes.
So there is a video that we will post before we move on to our review of the movie, which is why you're here.
Yeah.
But I think this goes to show again how much the fandom is obsessed with this movie. People have, everyone, the lead up to it has been people scaring people with ghost face masks. And we'll post a video to our Insta because there was one of your, most of your scares you did solo.
I did solo, yeah. I just grabbed someone around the office and I was like, here, take my phone and film this. And
He's
they'd
so
be like,
independent.
Yeah.
But then there was Scream. You know how like sometimes there's 2 killers in the Scream movies?
Yeah.
Sometimes there were 2 scarers. And in that case, we pranked Manisha, our producer.
So I wanted to just get you for fun. Like I kind of asked our boss Georgie, like, can I prank Manisha today and scare her? And she was like, oh, for content. And I was like, no, just for like, I just wanted to get you. I just thought it would be fun. And then, we had to actually turn it into content. She said it's going to...
It would be bullying if you didn't.
Yeah, she said it would be bullying if we didn't turn it into content.
To be fair, I took a big part in this particular scare and I thought it was just to scare you. I didn't know we were filming, but we have filmed it. We'll put it up on our Instagram and the build-up is great. Can I just say my acting? How's my acting?
You were amazing.
Thank
and
you.
it was actually a lot of coordination because it sounds like when you watch the video, you're going to be like, oh yeah, she just walks out the room and they go behind the curtain. Like that took
Getting me out of the room was hard.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get you out of the room.
Come on. I'm just going to one sec. I'll set up the recording. Wait, there's an old third lamp.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say a word about the headphones, but I will say, Mom, can you turn that lamp on? Because Out Loud have it on for their record. Sure. And Nia said it makes the lighting on this side look better.
Oh my God.
Are you okay?
I think I might garner a lot of sympathy from our community.
I think it really shows like that is why this movie franchise. There's a lot of reasons it's been so enduring, but half of it is like that Ghostface killer is so iconic. So 3 of us went to a preview screening of Scream 7 this week, and as soon as you stepped into the cinema, you're like, everything about this franchise is so iconic. This is Scream. Like the lighting, the sound effects, the fact that Ghostface killers, I was like, is that Michael?
No.
There were so many Ghostface killers walking around.
That was terrifying.
Yeah.
I was just having a chat and then I was like, oh my God.
That was so fun. I loved it.
But again, that's the whole thing of Scream is it's silly and scary.
Yes.
So for anyone who wasn't born then or wasn't across, the original Scream movie came out in 1996 and it revolutionized the slasher genre, which up until then had been a bit like, let's stab a pretty woman, which I'm not against in a movie, but you know, it wasn't groundbreaking. It was very sexist. It was very like kind of planned. It was very much like, you know, it didn't like have that context of how horror had affected the broader like landscape of movies. Whereas when Scream came out, it was very aware of like, these are the rules of horror. These are the rules of slashers. And it has, and I don't say this lightly, it has the best opening scene, not just of a horror movie, but any movie.
Yeah. It's like a short film.
Yeah.
That one.
It is the greatest short film ever.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know how
love
much
that
you want to
opening
say
scene.
because I know Scream came out in 1996, but if anyone hasn't watched, wait, Mon, have you watched it?
No, so I famously haven't watched any
my
Screams.
God.
I started with Scream 7.
Yeah.
So last
great
night,
one to start on.
as the lights start, dimming down, the movie's about to start, I'm like, Laura, tell me what happened in the first 6 in about 2 minutes.
That
And
is
she
insane.
did, to
I
be fair.
did.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
I took it so seriously. So yeah, we're sitting there. Mon's already shaking because Ghostface was over her in the cinema.
Literally.
You had
Scream-
trauma from earlier in the
I'm
week.
going to Laura, they're not allowed to touch you, right? They're not allowed to touch you.
Oh yeah, she kept saying
No,
they're
they're
not-
touching ones.
I'm like, they might stab you. So Scream 7 is about to start. Nev Campbell's face is up on the screen. My heart's beating so fast. Lights are going down and Mon goes, what happened in the first 6 movies? And I was like, I've got this.
Just roughly.
I was like, my whole life's been building up to this. So for anyone else who needs it, I don't want to spoil the Scream movies because I think anyone who hasn't watched them, especially the first one, I mean, they're all great, but the first one is 10 out of 10.
You did a good job of not spoiling who all the killers were too much, though. You were just kind of like, this is what happens. These are the key character arcs you need to be aware of.
So yes, the original movie starts with Drew Barrymore, who I cannot overstate. I mean, I was a child and even I knew how iconic this was at the time. Drew Barrymore, one of the biggest actresses in the world, front and center on the movie posters. And everyone went into the original Scream being like, she is the lead of this movie. And then it's hard not to spoil this bit, and I think everyone knows. She gets brutally murdered.
Yes.
In the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, because they marketed it like starring Drew Barrymore.
And she's the lead, and she wanted that because they wanted her to play Sydney, the lead role, which is now played by Neve Campbell.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just think I should be killed in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Kevin Williamson, the creator, was like, let's do it. We're redefining the genre.
I love that.
I just want to cry thinking about this. And so, because just
She's a
imagine being in
visionary.
the movie. He's amazing. Just imagine being in the cinema and being like, this is a Drew Barrymore movie, or she's dead.
Yeah.
What is the rest of this movie? And all of a sudden, it was like every death is on the table. So then that murder happens in a little town called Woodsboro. And then we flash to a bit later where Sydney Prescott is a teen girl played by Neve Campbell, who at the time was like a bit of a family drama darling, Party of Five. And she was in some other cutesy movies. She wasn't a scream queen. She famously hates scary movies to this day. She was so good. The rest of the teen cast was like a who's who of 90s teen stars, like Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard, Rose McGowan, Queen of Our Hearts. Like,
and you said that was one of her first big roles, wasn't it?
It was one of her first big breakout roles. That's the thing. Drew Barrymore was the star. Everyone else was kind of known. Some of them weren't known as much, but like they became stars after this movie. And then we just have the Ghostface Killer, who is, doing the iconic, do you want to do the voice?
What's your favorite scary movie?
That's really good.
Was it good? Oh my God.
Thank you.
It's this whole thing of like, these are the rules of horror. The phone calls start happening. Everyone starts getting stabbed to death. And then the killers, which was a big twist at the time, which I won't say, the killers are revealed. And then the next movie is Sydney in college. Again, killers.
Yeah, more killers.
And then again, she's in LA. Killers.
It's a running theme throughout the films.
I did pick up on that.
Yeah. I would like to monitor the movie. So every movie is her getting the phone calls and then a different set of killers start. Yeah. And then she's like, does the killer have supernatural powers? And I was like, oh, no. It's just a person in a mask, but you have to suspend disbelief because sometimes the killer reveal is like, it's a young girl.
Yeah, she's like 5'6" and did it.
Like,
and
she killed all those men.
Yeah, and everyone's like, what a plot twist. And like, you do have to suspend disbelief that she did like throw 3 men off a roof. Yeah. Like,
I was also confused because I was like, oh, this just keeps happening to her with different people. Like, she's so unlucky. Just like,
she's unlucky.
She is unlucky. Yeah.
The Sydney Prescott story, she's so unlucky.
She's just in this one, she just kind of figured out she's got a special locks on her house. I'm like, that's not going to do anything. They're going to find a way.
Oh, no, but now we see her. So this is like well over 20 years after the original. So in Scream 7, it comes back. Neve Campbell's character, Sydney, she's married, she's got an adult daughter, and the catalyst is that her daughter Tatum, named after Rose McGowan's character in the first movie, so I guess you can guess what happens to her. Well, don't you think she had the most iconic death?
I loved that death. She was my favorite character as a kid. Yeah,
is that the garage door?
The
she
garage
gets crushed
door.
in a garage door. But she fights back for a long time.
Yeah.
It wasn't her fault. She tries to crawl out the dog door away from him.
Yeah.
To escape him, which was a great plan until she kind of gets stuck.
Yeah.
And then he puts the door up and it crushes her neck.
Yeah.
They do get very creative with the kills, I will say. There were a few in this where I was like, that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not cooler than you should do it.
I don't know how you could see anything because every time I looked over, you had your jacket over your head.
I know, but I had a tiny gap just to peek through.
I thought the set pieces were good in this film.
Yes. Okay. So this is the thing, Michael. You and I have been talking about this since we met, to be honest. The build up for this. Yeah. And the day of the premiere, we both came into the office and we were like nervous.
Yeah,
we were just like, I don't know what to say. And we haven't talked about it yet. We saved it for the pod.
Yeah.
So Scream 7, we find Sydney Prescott as a mum of 3. Only her daughter, her teenage daughter Tatum, is in the movie, and then she starts getting the phone calls again. What did you think as one of the world's biggest Scream fans who has devoted his life to it recently?
Oh my God.
You can give an honest opinion.
I mean, like, I don't think it's the strongest out of the gate.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. I agree.
But I mean, like, I don't think they'll ever be able to do that. But I'm glad it's a Sydney-centric story again.
Yes.
I think the franchise really needed that.
Because she's in movies 1 to 5.
1 to 5, and then she sat out 6. They were in New York.
Because of a pay dispute behind the scenes.
And I felt that movie really felt more like fan fiction than an actual Scream film. Like, I don't rate 6, other people do. So I was really happy to see 7, but back to Sydney, back to a kind of small town setting. It was great. I mean, it starts off with Ghostface and it goes to someone else from her past, which I think was a real wild card choice.
Yeah, so it goes to, I mean, it's hard of how much to spoil, but I was telling Mon, I think Mon wanted to go home last night after we saw the movie. But I
you don't want to sit around and discuss it?
I kept her on the street for like 20 minutes explaining the backstory.
Yeah.
And it's not a secret that Matthew Lillard from the first movie has a little part in this movie. We won't say if it's big or small. We won't say his character, Stu Mocker. We won't say anything about what happens because that's a surprise. But that has been fan fiction for over 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
That everyone's like, he didn't die, he's alive. And Kevin Williamson, the creator, is so aware of fan fiction that he took all the fans' thoughts and put them in the movie.
I know, It kind of is really crazy to see, like, this movie respond to the fans like in
Yeah.
such a big way. Like they've really like tapped into what they're thinking, what their theories are, and what they want to see.
Yes, yeah. And that mirrors the world of Scream because Scream, the characters are very aware of the rules of horror movies. And then the Stab movie franchise is a fictional franchise in the movie based on Sidney Prescott. So you have that happening at the same time. So it's very meta.
I really enjoyed that aspect, actually. The fact that they keep referencing it.
Oh, you need to watch number 3 then because on number 3, they're on the set of the Stab movies.
Okay, that sounds
with
good.
the characters who are playing them. It's so great.
I mean, how many times can a snake eat itself though?
Yeah, I
It's
know, I know.
I feel like though this one really went away from meta compared to the
Yeah.
others and was really focused on like the trauma and Sydney's story and her kid.
Of where she is right now. And
Yeah.
she's like, you either survive or you become a killer. And I respect her from that. Mon, what's the main thing we learned from this movie?
Always shoot in the head.
Yeah, that's important to know.
I was like, guys, it's been a few times now. Even
Yeah.
I know. Shoot him in the head.
Shoot him in the
Throw
head.
the gun
Mon
down.
threw her hands, like, shoot her in the head. I had a few mixed feelings about this coming in as also a super fan. I love the setup. I love Neve Campbell being back. I thought Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera in the last movie were a really strong duo.
Yeah.
And obviously them getting like fired from the movie or Jenna leaving was not great. That's the thing with this franchise. Love it. Doesn't treat its cast super well.
Yeah.
Neve Campbell set that movie out. They didn't pay her what she was worth.
Yeah.
And then when she came back for this one, she's like, they asked me in a really dignified way and I felt respected again.
Yeah.
So I came back. So I love Neve Campbell being back. She's so iconic in this role. The standout for me was Courtney Cox's Gale Weathers, who only has a bit of screen time. But when she appeared, Michael, this is so embarrassing because we sat in different cinemas. When she appeared on screen, I couldn't help it. My soul left my body. I started applauding.
No, our entire cinema, we were in different cinemas, they applauded. Like that was her entrance into this film is
So
iconic.
good.
I didn't even have the backstory and I was excited she was
Yeah,
there.
the way she steps out that car, like we won't say what
she looks
happens,
great.
but oh my God.
She's so great.
Yeah.
And her and Sydney, I think that's something about like this franchise being 30 years because in the first movie, they're enemies and they
Yes.
become sort of less enemies and like
Yeah.
friends, but they have she even says in this, we have a complicated relationship.
Yeah, I really love how it goes in this movie.
Yeah.
With the like sort of relation to the fandom and all the previous stuff and having attachment to the actors, it reminded me a bit of going to see I Know What You Did Last Summer and how people were really
Yes.
excited to see certain people. Although I will say this was scarier than that. That was more like camp or like
absolutely.
funny kills in a way. This is genuinely quite scary.
Yeah, well, this one I thought like the gore was a lot
Yeah.
gorier than we have for a Scream film.
Yes, they've gone back to because the first movie is, as much as it can be a bit funny and campy, it's very gory. And the
Yeah.
second movie too. And then the third movie gets very silly.
Yeah.
And I did feel really bad as I watched Mon like cower in the cinema under her jacket. And I thought at one stage I was like, is she crying? I feel bad.
I was like, can
Because-
I leave? Will I get fired?
Yes, I would have fired you. I don't have
Yeah.
that power. But I will just say that I know I've talked a lot about I Know You Did Last Summer reboot being really silly, which I think it was.
It was.
And just a warning for this one, it does lean back more into the horror slasher gory genre
It's
than
pretty
previous
gory.
movies.
There's some pretty horrific kills in there.
I mean, in a Scream universe, like if you love a slasher, you'll be fine. If
Yeah,
you're on the
yeah.
fence about a slasher, still go and see it, but maybe just be aware.
I thought there was a lot of camp though in this
Yeah.
one. Like, it had moments of levity.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing. Scream thing is like it's horrific, but then it's funny.
Yeah.
And then it's sexy. That's the whole thing. I will just say, so I mostly loved it. I loved Neve and Courtney Cox being back together. I love Kevin Williams' script and dynamic and how his mind works. The actress playing her daughter Tatum was fine. I think it's hard because
It's
Neve
hard coming into a franchise, and then I
Yeah.
also think being like a petulant teenager
is hard.
is hard. Well, it's hard to go against Nev's character in
I
that
know,
and be
but-
a sympathetic character because I was kind of like, you're annoying.
She also
I
didn't have
know,
enough
but-
scenes to get that character development, I think, to get to a place where we were like,
Yes.
yeah. But I don't think it was quite there, but I think there were essence of good things.
I just don't think, I don't mean this is I mean at all. I'm sure she's lovely. I just don't think she's a leading lady. The same way that like when Neve was first in that role, because in the first movie, like Sydney's a bit annoying at the start. She's a bit of everyone has to protect her. She's a bit
Yeah.
whiny.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, don't let your boyfriend in the window when there's a killer out. What are you doing? Don't go to that party when there's a killer. Don't cry. Don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
But Neve Campbell's such a leading lady that she just became the center of that movie. Whereas I think the actress playing her daughter was fine, but she had so much screen time, and
Yes.
this new crop of teenagers had so much screen time. And the only one who stood out to me was McKenna Grace. Like, I'm not just because she's an established star, but she at least had a bit of
oomph.
to it. And also, I picked the killer. Did you pick the killer straight away? We won't say, but as soon as the killer came on screen, I'm like, that's the killer.
I mean, I think I picked the killer when they kind of cast.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was just like, I could just see this person being like, it's just not.
There's
Yeah.
one. I mean, there's more than one killer. That's not a spoiler. That's just Scream.
Yeah.
When's the last time we had one killer? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I want to
Scream
say
3,
I
but yeah.
didn't pick the killer.
That's fine, but
I
we
was
didn't
very,
expect you to.
I was very distracted the entire time, cowering in fear. I forgot that there was even going to be one big at the end. I was like,
Yeah.
just let it. I
You're
don't
like,
know. There's too much going
Forgot
on.
that it's even whodunit. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
And
someone
like-
definitely die.
And the best, so every Scream movie follows the same formula, which is fine. Is like it opens with a very iconic kill. Someone who's not involved in the main plot dies in the first 5 minutes, and then we come back to our leading lady. She gets a phone call. She gets the gang back together, which it's now just her and Gail, which is sad because Dewey died. And then people start to get murdered one by one in gorier fashion until we have the big final fight scene
Third
throwdown
act.
where the killer gets unmasked, and then they monologue their reason of why they did it. I'm your half brother. You killed my son. You killed my son again.
Honestly, had that one go around twice.
I didn't know if the reasoning for this one was.
It was tenuous.
I feel like, they kind of
But
dropped maybe the motive
I
was
was like,
not.
oh, did we get to the last day of writing and just think, and the end? Like,
It's like that meme of the horse.
Yeah.
It's really well drawn at the front.
and then at
it's
the
just
end,
like
it's
a
just a
child.
scribble.
Well,
So
it was the 7th one, guys. Hard to come up with
no,
7 good reasons
I
to kill
hold
someone.
Kevin to a very high standard.
Yes,
That's fine. But overall, we've talked about this for so long. I'm so sorry. But there's been like 5-year build up to this.
I thought it was a great cinema experience.
Yes.
Like, I would definitely go see it with friends in a cinema. I want them to make more. I mean,
Me
I'm
too.
like always just like, I don't care if
make
they
more.
Yeah.
And also, can I just say, Scream 7 is also the one slasher I think that women should go and see, because I think that, I mean, everyone can see it, but I think it's very empowering in terms of like to her daughter.
yeah.
She's like, like we fight back. We're not victims. We take a stand. And also there's a whole thread in there about Neve Campbell being past her prime, which is a real thing in terms of Kevin Williamson being aware of the fans, is a real thing that people have said Neve Campbell as an actress is past her prime and shouldn't be leading these movies anymore. And
she was great.
She says it in there. She's like, past my prime kind of thing. And then before she brutally murders someone who was trying to kill her. So fair. But I
Another
also
meta
thought that was
reference.
a really empowering, I think Scream 7's really empowering and women should go see it. It's a feminist movie.
International Women's Day is coming up. Get out there and see it.
Take your gals on International Women's Day to see Scream 7 and feel empowered. You too can shoot someone in the head if they try to kill you.
If you remember that that's how you kill them.
So it's in cinemas now. Yeah, go see it in cinemas.
Yeah, sit in cinemas.